Tensions reach a breaking point as America and China move closer to open confrontation. Experts warn this may be the most dangerous moment yet between two global powers. From trade to technology, the rivalry now spans every corner of global influence. Markets are in panic as rising tensions shake the world economy. Investors are watching not numbers, but warships and military movements. The latest tariff move has sent shockwaves through international markets. China's leadership responds with emergency economic measures overnight. Across Asia, stock markets fall sharply amid escalating trade fears. Officials defend the tariffs as necessary, but critics fear a global financial meltdown. Factories and supply chains worldwide are now under extreme pressure. Analysts warn the economic war could spill into something far more dangerous. In the South China Sea, warships from both nations come dangerously close. A single misstep could ignite a crisis neither side can control. The technology battle intensifies, from semiconductors to artificial intelligence. Both nations are investing billions to dominate the next generation of innovation. Cyber experts warn that digital warfare is already underway. Joint military drills are now at their most aggressive in years. Diplomatic back channels remain open, but trust is fading fast. Smaller nations are caught in the middle, struggling to choose sides. Hevel stands at a crossroads, a Geopolitics between cooperation and collapse.
Welcome to Global Echo, where every news echoes beyond the headlines. Tonight, we're diving into what experts are calling the most dangerous moment yet between the United States and China. A crisis that's shaking world markets, rattling military alliances, and forcing governments to prepare for a future that suddenly feels far less stable. In the past few weeks, we've witnessed events that have pushed this rivalry to the edge. This is no longer just about trade or technology. It's a full-blown confrontation that now spans every corner of global power. From the South China Sea to Wall Street, from silicon chips to rare earth minerals, America and China are entangled in a contest that could define the next century. Markets have been rocked by panic as tensions escalate. Suddenly, global investors aren't just watching economic reports, they're watching warships. They're watching sanctions, tariffs, and leaders exchange threats that were unthinkable just a few years ago. The financial world is no longer moving on numbers alone. It's reacting to fear. President Donald Trump's latest tariff escalation sent shockwaves through international markets. A sweeping 100% tariff on key Chinese exports caught Beijing off guard and triggered a chain reaction across the global economy. Factories, traders, and shipping routes all feel the pressure, and China's leadership has made it clear, this time they won't back down. Beijing's response was firm and immediate. State media labeled Washington's move as economic aggression, calling it an attack on national sovereignty. Inside China's leadership circles, emergency economic councils were called overnight. Every major sector, from electronics to manufacturing, is now recalculating survival in a new, harsher reality. Across Asia, markets fell sharply. The Shanghai Composite tumbled. The yuan weakened. And analysts in Tokyo, Singapore, and London warned of an economic contagion that could spill far beyond China. This isn't just about two nations anymore. This is about the entire global economy trying to navigate a storm it didn't see coming. Meanwhile, in Washington, Officials defend the tariffs as a necessary measure, a line drawn to protect American industries and national security. But critics argue the move risks triggering a financial meltdown. Supply chains that took decades to build are now being ripped apart. Companies are scrambling to shift production to other countries, Vietnam, India, and Mexico, but those transitions take time, and time is exactly what the markets don't have. The real danger is that this economic war could spill into something much larger. Because behind the numbers and policy statements lies a growing military and technological rivalry. In the South China Sea, U.S. naval vessels and Chinese warships have come dangerously close. A single misstep could ignite a crisis neither side can easily control. And then there's the tech battlefield. Washington has tightened its grip on semiconductor exports, blocking key materials and chips from reaching China. Beijing responded by pouring billions into self-reliance, accelerating its own chip production, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. This isn't just a trade competition anymore, it's a race to dominate the future. Cybersecurity experts warn that both nations are engaged in an invisible war online. Hacking campaigns, espionage, and cyber intrusions are happening daily, targeting government databases, energy systems, and private companies. A single miscalculated cyber attack could unleash consequences far beyond digital boundaries. At the same time, military analysts say we're seeing the most aggressive joint exercises in years. U.S. fleets in the Pacific, Chinese warplanes circling Taiwan, missiles, submarines, and signals intelligence all in play. The atmosphere is tense, and experts warn that even one false move, a misfire, a misread radar signal, could light the spark of a wider conflict. And yet, behind closed doors, diplomacy continues. Quiet talks between intermediaries, cautious signals between defense officials. Both sides know that a war, even an accidental one, would be catastrophic. Trillions of dollars in trade, millions of lives, and decades of progress could vanish overnight. Still, national pride runs deep. In Beijing, leaders are unwilling to show weakness. In Washington, domestic pressure is high. Political voices demand toughness against China. These internal pressures make compromise harder. Each side plays to its home audience while the rest of the world watches in anxiety. From the perspective of smaller nations, this standoff is terrifying. Countries like Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, and even European allies are caught in the middle, forced to choose between economic dependence on China and security ties with the United States. The result is a geopolitical balancing act that could reshape alliances worldwide. Energy markets are also in turmoil. China is the world's largest importer of oil, and as U.S. sanctions and tariffs tighten, energy contracts are being rewritten. Oil prices fluctuate wildly. Natural gas shipments reroute. The ripple effects reach every corner of the planet, from American consumers at the gas pump to factories in Africa and Asia struggling to stay open. The phrase, the most dangerous moment yet, isn't an exaggeration. It's the reality of a world walking a fine line between confrontation and collapse. The U.S.-China rivalry has become a global system shock, impacting finance, defense, trade, and technology all at once. And for investors, businesses, and governments, there's one truth that's becoming impossible to ignore. This isn't just about two nations fighting for power. It's about the future direction of the world itself. Whether we move toward cooperation or chaos depends entirely on what happens in the coming months. Global Echo will continue to follow this news as it unfolds, because what's at stake now isn't just global trade. It's global stability, and the world once again is holding its breath. This is Global Echo, bringing you the truth behind the tremors of our time. Stay informed, stay aware, and as always, keep your eyes open, because this is only the beginning.